All right, all right. We are live. Let's check the chat.
Nice.
Boom.
Look at that. W for Jason.
W for Jason. Jason is on the chat. Uh, Ladies and gents, go ahead and drop a variation of a yes. So some variation of a yes if you guys can see us, hear us. I always like seeing what variations you guys come up with.
I like 10-4, good buddy. Has always been my favorite one.
10-4.
10-4, good buddy. Roger that. Those are some good yeses.
Yes. Yabo. Affirmative. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yo,
We
si,
love
senor.
we love having you, Jason. Man, the audience loves you. Now, I'm sure you guys have probably seen at this point the title of today's live presentation and probably assumed or guessed that I'm not the father we speak of. This gentleman to my right has done some incredible things in this industry. I mean, you guys have already seen the presentations over the space of the last few days. One thing that's a little unfortunate is I don't think you guys really understand the gravity or the weight of having someone like this speaking to you. Jason, he's too humble to say it, but he's had the top people in the space, and they literally pay 5 figures an hour for many hours. You can't just book him for 1 hour, for many hours at a time, to basically impart everything he has in here and do a knowledge transfer to them. You know, whether that be Alex Hermosi, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, they go to him whenever they are trying to unpack a problem or unpack an offer or this or positioning or packaging. So I really want you guys, I said this a little earlier, but the quality of answers you get is very much dependent on the quality of question. Okay. So just know that you're in the presence of, in our space, a real living legend. So make the most of it. And I know he's not going to big himself up in the same way that I will, but he's done some incredible things. And I think in today's presentation, he's going to, we all have an origin story, and we all have a spark, and we all have a reason that lights us up and gives us the fire inside that we have, because it's not a normal thing to just come in and produce 250, $250 million in results in an industry. You have to be wired a little differently. And a lot of times that comes from places. And, a lot of you guys in your position, you might be in a situation in life right now where you could be experiencing your turning point. You could be at a junction in life where you either use the pain, the difficult situations that life's throwing at you, and either use that to go and dominate an industry, or you could become a victim from it. And Jason definitely made his bed and laid in it. So I'm very excited. I will let Jason have the floor today. I might be popping in and out here and there throughout the presentation. But yeah, guys, go ahead and just spam a lot of love for Jason in the chat. I want to see a lot of love for him, because yeah, guys, he really does not have to do this. He does not have to be with us here today. So yeah, go ahead and drop lots of love in the chat for Jason. Love for Jason. Love it, guys. Yeah, he's a legend. So I'm very excited to leave you in his presence. And with that being said, I will leave you to it. Amazing.
My friend, my brother.
Cool. Yeah, comment sections here if you ever want to, and you're good to go.
Awesome.
Cool.
Woo! By the way, I am a digital artifact in an AI-developed environment. I am not in Dubai right now with Iman. This is AI Jason 2.0. I am only kidding, of course. Okay, let's get ready. Let's get centered. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. There's one thing that I like to do before we begin here. And that is this. I'm going to flip it back on the slide because I want you to do something with me here so I feel like we're connected together. And that's the following. I want you to take a deep breath in with me when I tell you to. I want you to hold it while I hold it, and then we release it. This centers us. This grounds us. This puts us all in the same temporal plane, if you will. It makes me feel in sync and connected with you. And if I'm connected with you, I'm going to do the very best I can to impact wisdom on you and help improve whatever the why is that you're working to get the accomplish on it. So does that sound good with you? If so, here's what I'd like you to do. Breathe in deeply with me around one time. Breathe in. Now release it. Let's freaking go. I speak to you today from $250 million in developed, distributed, and delivered digital products over the last 18 years. I speak to you from a place of starting small with my first digital product, making me a whopping $4 back in 2007, to the Amazon days where we hit $9.8 million in just 8 days, through the $57.9 million that we generated in just 226 days during COVID, up until right now at this very moment, which totals over $250 million in digital products. My name is Jason Fladlin. Out of everyone that Iman could have brought in today to talk to you, he chose me. And why did he choose me? He chose me because he knows if there's anything that I'm good at, it's not just digital products, it's the following. I destroy the demons that get in the way of you being successful. And so I come today to you with the most important of messages. And this message, before I can give it to you, I need to confess something to you of importance, that the opportunity that we're discussing right here, it's better than it's ever been. But there's a caveat to this. And the caveat is you need the right damn approach. And so you spent the last 4 days with us diving deep into the formula that I've shared with you and that Iman shared with you. And that's what? What's the formula? Do you remember it? It's develop. That's the first one. It's distribute. That's the second one. And then it's deliver. That's the third one. So you got to follow this approach. And we did make you an incredible offer. And many of you said yes to that. And that pleases my heart. Some of you are still on the fence. So we have some decisions to make here today. But whether you decide to invest before this offer expires or not, my chief objective, my number one goal here today is to empower you, because I believe this with every fiber of my being, that every single one of you today have a digital product inside of you that is dying to get out. Here's the thing though, extracting this in the past, it was brutal. Looking back, I honestly don't even know how I pulled it off myself. It was so damn tough. It was like crawling naked through broken glass for 2 miles to get a digital product developed. I barely managed it myself. And then I tried to teach this to others. And no matter how hard I worked, I could only help maybe 1 out of 100 people who I tirelessly trained to develop and distribute their digital products. It was a very low success rate no matter how hard I tried. But now, with advantages like WAP, with AI, with the pull and the leverage that Iman can bring to stack the deck in your favor, there has never been an easier time than now. Never been an easier time than right now. But I can already hear you say something along the following lines. You can say, just another guru telling me how easy this is. I've heard it before. You might be thinking, that must be nice for you. You've made $250 million, but that was back in the old days. Or you may be thinking the market, Jason, it's just too saturated right now. Trust me, I get it. Those doubts, those fears are the exact same ones that I had all the way back in 2007 when I was so scared to sell a digital product that I priced my first one for $4 measly. I was so scared to put the effort in to create a proper digital product that it took me 6 months to fail. And finally, through desperation, I created my first digital product, which was 6 pages long. And that's why I sold it for just $4. And it changed my freaking life. I was never the same again after that. Because when Iman shared with you that if you can get 1, you can get 2. And if you can get 2, you can get 4. And if you can get 4, you can get 10. And 10 becomes 100. And 100 becomes 1,000. And then you get the moon, my friend. And when he says that, he is right. You get to the millions through the thousands. And you get to the thousands through the hundreds. And you get through the hundreds from the first few dollars that turn the dream into the reality. So what is your first digital product that will get you your first few dollars that can snowball and avalanche into the financial independence that you're looking for? We will discuss this shortly. I have recommendations for you. The thing about your success, though, it has less to do with your skill or your strategy or your work ethic, and it has more to do with one thing, and that's called timing. Timing. I've benefited from some good times in my days. I was there in 2013 when Amazon popped off. I and many others made millions of dollars because we were there first. And many of us still make millions of dollars today, not because we're better or different or that we work harder. It's because of what? We got there first. That's our biggest advantage. And every time there's a massive change, there is an opportunity to be first. And here's your chance to be first with digital products 2.0, as we call them. If you started last year, you were too early. Wait until next year, you're probably going to be too late. So COVID was another massive change that some of us were able to step into and be the first to take advantage of the disruption that it created. And that's where my $57 million win came in. While everyone else was losing their minds, some of us got in with a plan, we seized the timing, and we completely changed our destinies. Yet digital products, they must be somehow different, right? Like with all this free information that's out there, who would pay anyone, much less you, for it? And by the way, if it's so easy for you to develop and distribute these 2.0 digital products, then where is the real advantage? That you may be thinking that, right? And I hear you. And it's good that you're thinking that. It's good that we're really investigating this together. Because here's what I discovered after 18 years in this game. The market is never saturated for people who solve real problems. Write that down. The market is never saturated for people who solve real problems. And guess what? People have more problems than ever. And they're spending more money than ever on more digital solutions than ever, to the tune of over $1 billion a day. A billion with a B. The only thing that's saturated, you know what's really saturated in this market? It's mediocre digital products created by people who are following the wrong plan. Which brings me to the real challenge that I see, and it's this. The thing that stops 99% of people from succeeding with digital products, it's not the tech, it's not the competition, it's not even the marketing. You want to know what it is? It's these invisible scripts that run in your head that say, hey, who am I to create a product? And what if people judge me after I create the product? And what if, God forbid, the product fails? And even worse, hear me out on this, what if it succeeds and I don't know what to do with it? I don't know how to handle it. These are called mental blocks. And these mental blocks are costing you a fortune. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to crush these obstacles that get in the way of your success. Let me share with you something that might surprise you. The most successful digital product creators I've worked with, and I've worked with all of the best, these guys weren't the smartest. These gals weren't the most talented, and they definitely, certainly were not the most qualified, because I know more broke PhDs than anybody, right? The success commonality were they understood one simple truth, and that your biggest competitor isn't some guru out there with a massive following. It's the voice in your head telling you you're not ready. That's the obstacle. And I've seen this play out too many times to count. You may say you don't have the expertise. And let's assume that was true. And it isn't, by the way. It doesn't matter, because these days with Digital Products 2.0, you can make a fortune with non-expert digital products. And that's what our AI has been trained on to produce. It's an AI unlike any on the market. I don't care who's putting noise out there thinking they know better. They don't. What we have here is a game changer for you. By the way, if you have expertise, fantastic. And many of you do. Many of you have expertise you're not even aware of yet. And you are sitting on a gold mine, my friend, that you have no idea the value of. And I will prove that to you in my presentation here today. But if it comes time to turn expertise or non-expertise into digital products, here's what most people do. They freeze and they say, well, I need to learn more first. Or they say, let me just watch another YouTube video to help me get ready. Or you might say, I'll wait until I have an audience. Then I'll do it, right? That's like saying, I'll wait till I'm fit before I start exercising. Meanwhile, the people you could reach, the people you could help, the real souls with real challenges that they'd happily pay you to get rid of, they're out there right now and they're struggling and they're spending money with inferior solutions from people who are offering half of what you could offer if you put your digital product out there. And that's a real tragedy, my friend, because here's what 18 years in the game has taught me is that perfection is the enemy of done, and that the world doesn't need perfect digital products. What they need is real solutions to real problems. And you know what's crazy? With tools like AI at our disposal, with platforms like WAP making distribution easier than ever before, and with the frameworks that Iman has shared with you over the last 4 days, you want to know what the only thing is that's holding you back? You want to know what it is? Permission. Permission. Permission from yourself to start before you're ready, either with your expert products or with your non-expert products, either with your face or by being faceless, either for the small wins or the big wins, because here's a little secret for you. The small wins are the ones that lead to the big wins. And if you do this, you can become what Iman calls ungovernable. You can give yourself the freedom to act how you want, where you want, when you want, not on their terms, but on your terms. Tell me, how does that resonate with you right now? How does that feel when I say that to you? And let me do something for you. Let me give you that permission to go at it. That imperfect you right now. Let me give him permission, or let me give her permission to go at it right now. Because you already have something valuable enough to develop, distribute, deliver, and scale, whether you realize it or not. And I will prove it to you. Every single day, you come across problems that others struggle with. And every single day, you are exposed to shortcuts that others have yet to discover. And every single day, you are uncovering systems others would pay to learn, whether you realize it or not. And every single day, you actually see solutions that other people completely miss. But you dismiss these because you don't realize until this event that you can take the tech and the AI and the structure and shift these opportunities into products and put these products into premium positions on the WAP marketplace. Every day you're encountering thousands of products that you could turn into digital products. Thousands of problems that you could turn into digital products that you could provide the solutions for. Or maybe you censor yourself in the following way. You say, well, yeah, I see these issues, Jason, but everybody already knows this, so I don't need to be the one to solve it, which is wrong. It is oh so wrong, my friend. And any quick examination of the WAP marketplace right now will show you many products that you may think are quote unquote too basic, or that nobody would pay for that, or that it's too simple, or that it's nothing special. Like, do it. Take the time. Like, I pulled up these 3 examples very quickly right before we hopped on this call. Find success with Fortnite maps. That couldn't work, could it? Well, it does every single day on the marketplace. Or how about this one? 25 hidden spots in Spain to make your trip unforgettable. That's too basic. Nobody would pay for that, except that they do. You know what's the greatest thing to do? Prove yourself wrong when it comes to people that give you money. Say they won't give me money, and then prove it by trying to get them to buy a digital product and see if you're right or not. And if I'd rather be right or rich and I had to pick between one of the two, I pick rich. What about you? Now, you don't need to solve every problem or even most problems or even some problems. You know what you need to do? You just need to be able to solve one problem for one specific group of people better than they can solve it on their own. That's it. And with the tools we have today, you could practically, and in some cases literally, do it in your sleep. Because AI can help you. They can help you extract the solutions faster than ever. They can help you structure it more clearly than ever. They can help you develop it more powerfully than ever before. And WAP can help you reach your perfect customers easier than ever before. And they can help you distribute your solutions smoother than ever before. And they can help you scale your impact bigger than ever before. The only real question is this: are you ready to get out of your own way? See, those thoughts you keep having which stop you from developing your digital products, you know the thoughts, everyone already knows this, or nobody would pay for that, or this wouldn't be anything special if I were to make it a digital product, or who am I to even think that people would buy from me? You want to know about those thoughts? They ain't coming from the marketplace. They ain't coming from your potential customers. They're not even coming from reality. They're not even coming from you. So it ain't your fault. We've all been conditioned to stay small, to play it safe, even though playing it safe is the fastest way to lose slow. You won't crash. Worse, you will decay and you will fade into nothing. We've all been conditioned to doubt our value, even though the value within you, the potential within you is so potent There is nothing more powerful on this earth than the consciousness which separates us from all the other animals. You come from the infinite, my friend, and within you is infinite possibility. Whether you use it or you squander it, though, the marketplace don't care. It shrugs at your self-doubt. It ignores your limiting beliefs. It has one thought and one care only, and it's this: can you solve my problem? That's it. Yet we sit here talking ourselves out of success because somewhere along the line, someone convinced us that we weren't ready, or we weren't capable, or we weren't worthy. Better to stay small and humble, they said, than to risk it to play big. And now you have a choice: to continue to listen to that voice inside of you, or to listen to a different voice, a new voice, a voice that says, maybe now is the time. And I don't need a hell yes from you right now. I need a maybe, because I can win with your maybe. I can help you if you just give me a maybe. That's all I need, is a maybe. Because maybe is the first step of escape from that current voice that keeps you small. Because that limiting voice, you know what it does? It actually has a very good purpose. There's a reason that exists. Would you like to know the purpose of that voice? And it's this: protection. Now, protection from what, you say, Jason? From standing out? Yep. From being judged? Yep. From the responsibility of success? Yep. We're going to explore that a little bit here more shortly. That voice is keeping you safe, but safe is small and small is stuck. So let me ask you something. When's the last time that you looked at someone else making money and you thought to yourself, I could do better than that? Because there's a lot of people making money that ain't that special. And if you haven't done that yet, then I bet if we took a 45-second Google search, we could find several different products where you could look at and click your tongue and say, I could do better than that. Because the barrier to entry, the bar to entry, is very low. And once you have that realization, you know what that immediate knee-jerk reaction is once you say, I could do better than that is? The automatic reflex is this: yeah, but maybe they won because they had an audience. So they're not better, but they had an audience and I don't. Or you say, yeah, they got there first. Even though oftentimes getting their second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth can be advantageous. We'll talk about that one too. And you say, yeah, well, maybe they had connections. Maybe they did, but you got connections. We're giving you connections with the opportunity that we're presenting to you, which almost goes away here very shortly. And just like that, though, you talk yourself out of your own potential. And now here's what you need to understand. I'll take that little voice as long as it comes with desperation attached to it, because deep down that small voice, it says, I know something's different now. The tools have changed. The game has changed. Whether you realize it or not, you've changed as you went through these 5 days of training here with us. And it's terrifying, isn't it? Because for the first time, you can now see the gap between where you are and where you could be. And you're realizing that that gap is shorter than it's ever been. People are making money right now teaching people how to use their iPhone camera better. But that's too basic. Yes, and people are teaching meal prep and making tens of thousands of dollars with it. But everyone knows how to cook. Yes, and people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing simple things like teaching you how to organize your email. But that's common sense. You are correct. And they are also profiting from it. And now that voice in your head, it's probably spinning up with excuses right now. Well, maybe they got lucky, and maybe they had huge audiences, and maybe they spent a whole bunch of money on ads. Nope, nope, and nope. The number one thing that makes that work, the difference between their success and you right now, is they decided that their basic knowledge was valuable enough to share, and that's it. That's a decision that was made. They didn't wait until they were ready, listen to their doubts, care if people judged them. They just did it. And now I'm going to show you something even crazier than that. Something that's going to make that voice get real quiet, because I'm about to reveal that exact process that they use to turn their basic knowledge into digital products that print money. Because what I'm about to show you is so simple, the voice in your head is going to try really hard to dismiss it. And it's going to fail. Are you ready? You want to see it? The secret to their success comes down to one thing: simplicity. Simplicity. These people don't spend 6 months trying to perfect their digital product, and they don't try to cover everything about their topic, and they don't wait until they have fancy production value, and they don't need some groundbreaking new technology, which is super helpful when you have it. Instead, they follow what I call the Swiss cheese method. Instead of trying to create the complete solution, they look for one specific hole that they could fill, one problem they could solve, one pain that they could eliminate, one result that they could deliver, and that is it. So instead of teaching everything an iPhone can do, they focused on one specific thing that one specific audience wanted. Instead of trying to be the next Gordon Ramsay there, they focused on one simple meal prep approach that one specific audience wants. And instead of focusing on products where here's everything you could do with email, you start with one simple solution for one simple audience. See the pattern here? You find one hole and you fill it. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. What if you're wrong? What if you create that digital product and it's the wrong problem? Is it game over then? Are you screwed? Is it done? Do you never get another attempt again for as long as you live? And the answer to that is no. Because it's so quick and easy to create these digital products with the tools that we provide to you. Guess what you do? You just try again. You do it the same way you learn to ride a bike. If you fall down, you pick yourself up and you just try again. You did that when you rode a bike, so why wouldn't you do that when you could unlock your own financial independence? I want you to imagine if Michael Jordan quit the first time he missed a shot, or if Tiger Woods quit the first time he hit his first bogey, or if Iman here, after his first video, didn't go immediately viral when he was back there showing out his back and bicep workout as a 15-year-old young G right there, right? Now, when you're starting, the worst thing you can do is to try to solve everything, like, create a product that says the ultimate guide to, or the complete system for, or the A to Z blueprint of. You'll never get finished if you do it that way. And if by some small miracle you're the exception, you still are going to have a difficult time getting customers because you will overwhelm them, you will confuse them, and they will afraid if they follow you, they will be stuck. So instead, especially when you're starting out, I want you to play a game with me called the $10 problem. And pay attention, because this is how it works. You grab your phone, you open the Notes app, you set a timer for 2 minutes. Now you write down every single problem that you've solved over the last 30 days. You will be shocked when you do an investigation of how many problems you solve on a daily basis. And then you say, which of these problems that I've solved, people would pay $10 to have me fix it for them. And circle those problems. Don't overthink it. Don't judge it. Just write it. Like maybe you, for example, turned a crappy Airbnb stay into a full refund. Or maybe you talked your way into a job interview that you weren't qualified for. And maybe you designed a logo in Canva that actually looked legit. Or maybe you figured out how to negotiate with your parents so you could buy monetize, which is what we worked on yesterday with some people in the QA. Whatever it is, just write them all down right now. Now look at your list and be shocked at how much value there actually is there in reality. And if you've taken us up on our offer, if you will, here today with some special extra goodies that I'm going to throw in, you don't even have to make the list anymore because we have tools that will make those lists for you for those types of products. And now I'm going to show you something that'll blow your mind. I'm going to take one of those simple solutions and I'm going to show you how to turn it into a digital product that could generate over $10,000 per month. And you can do this without being an expert, without having a huge audience, without running expensive ads, or creating these complex marketing funnels. Just by solving one specific problem for one specific group of people. Here's where it gets fun. Because I'm about to show you how to take one of these, what we call simple solutions, and turn it into cash money using what I call the 4-block method. And I'm going to warn you now, it's going to seem too simple, but simplicity is the secret. So let's run through the 4-block method. And if that voice in your head said, this can't work, just remind it, simple equals doable, doable equals profitable. Here's the first block. The first block is the pain point. This isn't fancy market research. This is just the answer to a single question. What specific moment made this particular solution necessary? So whatever problem you've solved or uncovered that people would pay you for a solution to, you say, what's the pain point that causes the problem? So here's an example. Maybe you uncovered a fix to Google Calendar because it doesn't send notifications and it cost you a freelance client as an agency owner. So you missed that call and now they got snarky and they posted about you passive aggressively on social media. So that's the pain point inflection. Okay, that's your moment, not organizational struggles, not managing a busy schedule. That's too abstract. That specific, I just cost myself money and maybe my reputation. So that's the pain moment. That's block number one. So you write that in block number one. In block number two, the quick win. Quick win looks like this. What's the first thing that you did that actually worked? Or what's the first thing that needs to be done in order to reverse the pain? I'm not talking the whole solution. I'm not talking the perfect solution. Just the first thing that brought some sort of relief. Put that into block two. So perhaps it was you toggled this one weird notification permission that wasn't easy to find on your phone, and then boom, all of a sudden stuff started syncing up again. That's the quick win, right? Then we move on to block three, which is the full solution. How did you go from that quick win to completely solving the rest of the problem? For example, maybe you cleaned up overlapping accounts and you removed conflicting calendars and you built a really simple system that segregated work from personal, from school, from side hustle, from all that other stuff. And then that becomes your full solution. And then in the last block, the prevention plan. How do you make sure that this problem never returns again? So example, maybe now you do a 60-second Sunday check-in where you sync up your plans for the week, you color code priorities, and you avoid the what the hell is this even doing on the calendar panic that shows up. And that becomes your prevention plan. So that's your 4-block process that you or an AI can follow to create some smoking hot digital products. Now, you may say, well, hold on a second, though. That doesn't seem like a bunch of content, Jason. And you are 100% right. And I say, fantastic. Because you know what people want? They want results, not content, not complexity, just results. That's what they want. And that example I just gave you, it doesn't have to be from your own personal life. It can be anything that immediately causes the pain. It can be the first win that reverses that pain, that can then dovetail into the complete solution for that pain, and then the prevention so that pain doesn't reoccur again. It is a simple formula. That's why it works so good. And you can utilize AI to create that for you. And that first quick win that actually worked, then the full solution that completely solved the problem, and finally the plan to make sure the problem never comes back again. It can be from your own experience. It can be from the AI. It can be from your own expertise or the wisdom of the masses that you filter through using artificial intelligence. What's crazy is it's less what's in your digital product and it's more how you package your product. You know what one of the best-selling books has been over the last 5 years? It's a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And you know what it teaches? How to build better habits. Gasp, shock, revolutionary, right? Not really. I mean, like, people have been writing about habits forever. Yet this so-called very basic concept from a very basic book has made very big amounts of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And why do you think that is? It's because it's not so much just what you teach. A part of it is also how you package it. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a good name is worth $1 million. Atomic Habits, that just sounds cool. And also because it's written, so a 5th grader could understand it, people will actually read it and like it and then share it. So you want to make it simple. You want to make it easy. And then he made it cheap, an impulse purchase. And James, by the way, didn't write the whole book at first. I don't know if you know the story. He started off writing it an article at a time and sharing it an article at a time. That's how he created momentum. Now, you can do the same with quick and easy products with our system. And I get it. Names can be hard. You might mess up the name. Because it's so easy to put these digital products together and they cost so little to try and the upside is so large. My question to you is this: why wouldn't you try? And you don't have to just sell it and it's done. You just distribute it instead. Kind of like when you order off a DoorDash. There isn't some salesman that pops up and says, I see you're hungry right now. May I entice you to try Italian tonight, right? There's nobody pitching you. You get to select what you want to eat. You get to pick from that particular place the foods you want, and then you check out and they deliver it to your door. Nobody sold you on that. You went to a marketplace that had options and you picked amongst that marketplace and they distributed the option to you. Now, you can get fancier than that. You certainly could go out there and start to sell. But for now, just keep it simple. Just rely on distribution, because before you run, you walk, and before you walk, you crawl. Now, you can make more comprehensive products that sell at higher prices, and you can expand your distribution, and all of that is very smart, but all of that in due time. Before you save the world, save yourself. And remember what I said earlier about that voice in your head, the one that's always trying to talk you out of taking action? There's something fascinating about that voice, because it doesn't just show up when you're trying to create something. It also shows up when you're trying to buy stuff too. And this is where things get really messed up, because that voice convinces you that, hey, maybe I can just figure this out on my own. Or you say, hey, maybe I can find all the answers for free and save the money that it would take to invest in this solution. Meanwhile, you stay stuck, you stay frustrated, you stay spinning your wheels. And here's the weird part. The more capable you are, the louder that voice becomes, because smart people have the hardest time investing in the right solutions. They are the kind that would rather spend 40 hours trying to figure it out on their own than invest 1 hour worth of money to get the answer. It is completely illogical, but we all do it. It's like some sort of weird cosmic joke where the more capable you are, the harder it becomes to admit that you need support. And I'll tell you exactly why this happens, by the way. Your brain is basically running this unconscious math equation. It says time spent struggling equals proof of worthiness, which is completely backwards, but it's something that we all do. We think if I grind harder, if I just do more research, if I just stay up later, then somehow, some way that will make me one day more worthy of success. Meanwhile, the actual winners, they don't care about worthiness. They just want results. They'll happily pay someone $1,500 or $500 to skip the 40 hours of struggle. That's just good business. But the voice in your head, it doesn't like that logic, because it's not actually concerned with results. It's concerned with identity. Want me to help you with this right now so you can skip years of therapy later? Your current identity, which has limited you from getting what you want and from what you deserve, it isn't trying to protect your money by not investing in yourself. And it isn't trying to protect your time either. It's not even trying to protect your ego. It's trying to protect your excuses. Because as long as you're still figuring it out yourself, you always have a reason why you haven't succeeded yet. You could say, I'm still learning, or I'm still doing research, or I'm going to develop my own system. And it's the perfect crime, really. It is, because you get to feel like you're making progress without actually having to put yourself out there, without ever having to risk failure, and without ever having to face judgment. You're basically paying for your excuses with your time, with your energy, and with your potential. And man, that voice loves this arrangement, because it gets to keep you safe in your comfortable little struggle bubble, where you never have to face the scariest question of all, which is, what if I actually succeeded with this? Because success, that's terrifying. It means people will notice you. They might expect things. You'll have to maintain it, and you could lose it. So that voice would rather keep you in permanent stuck in figuring it out mode, which is not really going to serve you in the long term. Question to you: would you like for me to show you the one simple mindset shift that makes all this internal psychological warfare irrelevant? Would you like to see it? Here's the simplest mindset shift that's going to change everything for you. And it's so simple, it might even upset you a little bit. I don't want you to I want you to stop trying to be worthy of success. Because here's the truth that nobody talks about. Success isn't a moral achievement. Success is an outcome. The universe doesn't care if you struggled for years, if you paid your dues, if you learned it the hard way, if you earned your stripes. Those are just stories we tell ourselves to justify staying stuck. I want you to look around. Think about the trust fund baby that felt worthy of their inheritance. Or the Kardashians, did they do a decade of research before they felt ready to be successful with their brands? You think every single successful person waited until they deserved it? Hell no. They just took the path of least resistance and they got the outcome that they wanted. That's all that they did. There's no moral complexity to this. There's no cosmic judgment. There's no karma police that are going to show up and saying, sorry, you didn't struggle enough to deserve this. And this is where people get it twisted, because that voice in your head wants you to believe there is no easy path, so you never look for it. And if by chance you stumble over the actual easy path, you will convince yourself that it doesn't exist, when really taking the easy path just makes things more efficient. Want me to break down how to actually apply this mindset specifically? All right, well, here's how to actually use this mindset without turning into one of these, manifest your success weirdos who stare at their vision boards and chant affirmations. This is going to be practical stuff. You ready for it? Starts with asking yourself a single question. What if this could be easy? What if this could be easy? That's it. This question is like kryptonite to all your self-imposed barriers. Example, I need to figure out social media. The old you, well, better spend 6 months studying the thing. The new you, what if this could be easy? What would that look like? Or, hey, I should build my audience first. The old you says, I got to grind for 2 years before people know who I am. The new you says, what if this could be easy? What if it could be easy? What would that look like? The old you says, I need to master marketing, so I better listen to 47 different podcasts on the subject and become even more confused than when I started, right? The new you says, what if this could be easy? If it could be easy, where would I start? And what would be the first thing that I would do? And suddenly, all of these mandatory struggles start to look pretty freaking optional, don't they? Now, want me to show you what happens next? And this is the fun part. Because once you start asking, what if this could be easy, you're going to start to notice something kind of crazy. And that most of your required struggles are completely made up. They're just hazing rituals that you put yourself through, like some sort of weird entrepreneurial fight club where the first rule is you must suffer before succeeding, which is kind of a big problem, because the harder it becomes for you to solve your problem, the more challenging it will be to distribute that in the form of a digital product, because your audience is going to feel disconnected from your product. You say to them, hey, listen, follow me down this unnecessarily, incredibly difficult path. And they're like, yeah, no thanks. They're looking for someone instead who can show them the easy way, the simple path, the one to the fastest results. So the harder it is for you to get the result, the less likely it will be for you to create a successful digital product with it. Here's what actually happens when you choose the easy path, and it's probably not what you expect. What happens is you start to feel like a time traveler, because suddenly, all of a sudden, these goals that you thought were years away become weeks away. And that success that you thought needed more preparation starts showing up immediately. And the craziest part is nobody gets mad at you skipping the line, because most people don't even notice that you jumped the line. You know why? Because they're too busy with their own self-imposed barriers to pay attention to your path. But you know who does notice? The people you help. Because while everyone else is telling them it takes years, you got to pay your dues, there are no shortcuts, you're over here like, actually, here's an easier way. And that becomes your superpower. Not because you're special, not because you gave yourself permission to skip the BS. At the heart of it is this: your excuses sound real until your results make them irrelevant. Let me say that again and write it down. Your excuses sound real until your results make them irrelevant. And to understand this, let me tell you a very quick story. I want you to picture a small town kid from Iowa, the kind of town where watching the corn grow is considered a form of entertainment, right? And this kid, his mom's a drug addict. She goes to prison for 6 years, and he starts having panic attacks when he's 12. He ends up living on government assistance. He tries to escape it by going to college. He lasts for a semester and a half, and then he drops out because, that's life, I guess. And on paper, this sounds like the beginning of one of those depressing documentaries where they're like, the system is failing our youth. But here's where it gets very interesting, because that kid, that was literally me. That's who I used to be. That's who I was. I grew up a screw up. And the thing is, these aren't fake excuses. They're as real as rain. But you want to know what's even more real? Results. That's what's even more real. Because the moment that I sold my first digital product, something weird happened. Those excuses that I used to tell myself, they started sounding different. They almost started sounding silly. Like, who cares how I grew up when I just made more money in a week than my neighbors make in a year? And what does my mom's past have to do with my future, especially now that I'm creating generational wealth to pass on to my children? And those panic attacks, real talk, sometimes they still come up, right? But they hit a little bit different when you're having them in business class. See, here's the thing about results. They don't just prove you are wrong, they make them completely irrelevant. Those excuses, because nobody asks about my college degree anymore, because my results speak louder than any diploma ever could, and nobody asks about my rough background anymore, because my success story is way more interesting than a sob story. And here's the wildest part. Those same things that were once my biggest excuses are now the most powerful parts of my story, because I turn my adversity into alchemy, because they prove what is possible. And they show that your past doesn't have to define your future unless you let it. So yeah, your excuses might sound real right now. Mine did too, but trust me, get one solid result and watch how quickly those excuses turn from reasons you can't into proof that you can. The choice is yours though. And remember, your excuses are only permanent if you choose to make them more important than your results. And there's levels to it, because results aren't just your results. It's also the results that you get from the people who buy your digital products. When I got that first message from someone who bought a digital product from me, and the message wasn't just thanks. When I got those first messages that were like, this is how much you've impacted me. This is how much you've changed my life in this way. This is how much you've made my life better. In that moment, when I got that, every excuse I had about who am I to teach or what if I'm not good enough, it got buried. It got buried. Because here's what I realized. It ain't about me. It never was about me. It's about them. It's about their wins. It's about their breakthroughs. It's about their transformations. It's not about you. It's about your customers. And that's when the whole game changed, because suddenly I wasn't focused on my story anymore. I was focused on creating more of those messages, more of those wins, more of those transformations. And here's the crazy part. The more I focused on their results, the bigger my results got. It's like the universe has some sort of cool way of keeping score. You want to be a millionaire? Help a million people. Want to be a multimillionaire? Help even more people. Or help them at least get a bigger result. The math ain't complicated. And let me tell you something else. There has never been a better time than right now to do this. We've got the tech that lets you reach nearly anyone, anywhere. We got the training that shows you exactly how to serve this market. We got the support systems that make sure you don't fall on your face. And we got the AI tools that let you do in minutes what used to take months. So what's your excuse? That you're not ready? That you need more experience? Nah, kid. You just need one person to get results from what you put in your digital products. You just need one transformation. You just need one testimonial. Because once you see that, once you realize you can actually help people, your excuses won't just sound irrelevant. They will sound selfish. Like you're robbing people of the help that they need because you're too caught up in your own head. So here's my challenge. Stop thinking about your story and start thinking about the stories you could help other people write, because that's where the real magic happens. That's where the excuses go to die. And that's where generational wealth gets built. It gets built one transformation at a time. Developing digital products changed my life. I started with a 6-page ebook, sold it for $4. Fast forward a decade, $100 million plus in total sales across all digital products. Flash forward to right now in the present, over $250 million. And digital products, my friend, are stronger than ever. You want to know why? Because people always pay for speed. People always pay for clarity. People always pay for a shortcut to the result that they want. And the best part, you don't need to be some guru with a PhD in whateverology. You just need to solve a real problem in a way that cuts through the noise. And once you get once you get your digital products out there, you're going to discover a cheat code. And it's this. take the same core idea and spread it across multiple formats. So you can have an ebook, and that's really awesome. You know what's even cooler than that? A resource guide. And then you know what you can do with that resource guide, which just came from that digital PDF? You can turn it into a set of templates. And now one digital product becomes 3. Same content, different formats. And then if people really like it and you want to go further, you could turn that into a high-ticket coaching program based upon the content, which started as a PDF, which you then turned into a guide, which you then produced over a series of templates. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. The content itself doesn't change. The delivery does, and the perceived value as a result shoots through the roof. Now, here's a really big insight. Your offer is for transformation and outcome, not information and education. Digital products should focus on outcome and transformation, not on education and information. And our AI helps keep you in that lane. Because see, nobody wakes up thinking, man, I hope to buy a 200-page PDF today. But they do wake up thinking, how do I lose weight by next month? So your job is to show them how to bridge that gap step by step, no fluff, no theory, just a clear, easy to follow system that gets them results. That's what matters. Now, we have the machine that will help do that for you. Now, would you like a big secret about this digital product business that can really make some money? It's called modifiers. Want to 10x your income? Stop making generic digital products. Start using modifiers. So here's a modifier, time-based. So instead of how to do X, it's how to do X in 7 days, because instant gratification always sells well. You can modify it and make it event-based. So instead of how to get a job, it's how to get a job after you've gotten laid off. So something that is relevant and urgent based upon an event that has just occurred makes an incredibly powerful digital information product. You can do identity-based. So it's not how to get better at selling, it's how introverts can dominate sales. So personalize it. Take generic digital products and turn them into personalized digital products. You know, the only difference between a Post-it note in paper is a little bit of glue on the back and the size. And digital and Post-it notes sell for a lot more than regular paper does. So personalize existing selling successful digital product to a specific market or based around a certain event or based within a certain time period, and watch that sucker take off. Because people don't just buy solutions, they buy solutions that feel made specifically for them. And here's the kicker. The real money in digital products isn't in the initial buyers from those products. It's in what that unlocks in potential after somebody buys a digital product from you. So I've had a $10 digital product lead me to a partnership that was worth millions of dollars. And I had another $17 digital product that landed me very many high-ticket consulting gigs. And I had another $14 digital product that helped land me a book deal, right? The reason I am here today through a connection that was a referral to Iman happened because I created a digital product at the start of that dominoes that ended up with me in front of your right now here live with you. The digital product acts as bait to bigger, and bigger paydays. Look, if you're not offering digital products in some form, you're leaving money and impact on the table. The market is massive. The leverage is unreal. And the best part, anyone can do this. So if you're waiting for a sign, here's the sign. I am waving it in front of you right now. This is it. This is the sign, right? Now come a little closer. So I'm going to let you in on one of the greatest secrets behind what allowed me to make over $250,000 in digital product sales. Now to understand this, a story is in order. 11 years ago, I'm in Vegas. 2 friends are with me. One's named Jet, one's named Lee. And Lee's from the UK. And we find out that Lee has never played poker before in his life. like not even a friendly game with friends. So he's went in his first time in the States. He's in Vegas of all places. He's got zero experience. And Jen and I were like, hey, we're bored and the slots are for the suckers here. So we convinced him to hit the poker tables. And I got to teach this guy how to play poker 5 minutes before we sit down and put some cash money on the line. So I grabbed the rule card that sits at the entryway from the entry desk from the clerk. And I said to the lead, this is what I told him. I say, only play premium hands. They look like this. Follow my lead. Just get the tone and the pace of what I'm doing and try to mimic it. And don't do anything crazy. And that was essentially, literally his entire poker education. And this was kind of like the blind leading the blind, because I'm not exactly Phil Ivey myself. I'm not very good at poker. But something beautiful happened that day, my friend. We stumbled into what had to be the worst poker table in the history of Las Vegas. I'm talking players who made us look like pros, dudes who would bet their whole stack of chips with nothing but a pair of threes. They were playing every hand like they were holding pocket aces, and they had no strategy. They were just operating on vibes and prayers, right? So after a couple hours of careful play, Lee walked away with hundreds and hundreds of extra dollars. The first time ever playing poker in his entire life. And Jit and I, because we had a little bit more experience, we walked away with an even bigger stack. Pretty nice profit for a couple hours of just screwing around. But here's the real lesson. We didn't win because we were better at poker. We won because we sat at the right table. Instead of trying to compete with skilled players, we found people who were worse than us. And that's when it hit me. This is exactly how you should approach this digital product business. So instead of trying to become the best at everything, instead of trying to compete head and head with industry giants, what if you just got good at finding markets where the competition was weak, where you could win without having to be perfect, where you could win just by being present? And I want you to think about it. Would you rather spend years developing world-class skills to maybe, just maybe, compete with the best of the best and take massive risks along the way? Or would you prefer to find a place where you only need to be slightly better than average and win? And the answer is the path of least resistance, isn't it? And even cooler is you will sharpen your skills along the way as you make money. And this might sound obvious, but I see people ignore this principle all the time. They jump straight into saturated markets. They try to compete with established players, and no wonder they struggle because they don't understand this little strategic principle. Meanwhile, the smart ones are finding their own bad poker tables. These are markets with weak competition, with weak supply and large demand, meaning that if you just show up, you can win. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. So the secret is this. Don't ask yourself, how can I get better? Ask yourself the following question. Where can I win while I still suck? So I don't need to be better in order to win. And the beauty of this is most people are too busy trying to get good to notice all these easy tables that are around us. And we can help you find them, not just through training, also with our technology. And there's a huge gap right now, a gap that's going to give you a massive advantage if you accept it. It's this gap between those of us who are using this game-changing disruptive technology and those of us who aren't. The gap won't last forever, but right now, oh my God. Did you know most people don't even know how to use AI? And the ones that are using AI, they're kind of treating it like a new Google. Oh my God, they are not using it anywhere close to what they could be. And fewer still are investing in cutting edge AI tools that are beating the best humans right now. So, they get stuck in that old mode. They get too scared to get started, or they try to psych themselves up to get going, but still do things on hard mode, writing their own scripts, creating their own content, struggling to come up with their own ideas. Meanwhile, there's a small group of us sitting on nuclear weapons while everyone else is still throwing rocks. And here's the crazy parts. The tools that are so much better we're using right now, they're so much better than anything that's ever existed. But nobody knows about them or how to use them properly, which is actually good news for you because this creates a temporary window of opportunity, one that probably won't exist 12 months from now, but right now exists right as rain. And I want you to think about it. When was the last time you saw such a clear advantage where you could literally produce 10x the output in 1/10 the time while getting better results just by having access to the right tools? It's like having a time machine and being able to see exactly when the next coin is going to moon and then coming back to the present to load up on it. Now, the only catch is this: you actually have to get access to these tools and learn how to use them properly before everyone else catches up, because they will eventually. That's just how markets work. But right now, there's this beautiful temporary gap that exists where you can get so far ahead that by the time everyone else figures it up, you'll be too far gone to catch. Pretty wild timing, if you ask me. It almost seems unfair. But hey, that's how generational wealth gets created, by recognizing these moments and actually doing something about them instead of sitting there watching Netflix while history passes by. Now, let's talk about blissful ignorance, because when you don't know better, you can't do better. Nobody blames a tree for only growing 25 feet if that's all that nature allows that tree to grow. And I would never blame someone from doing the best they can with what they knew, because they didn't know any other way to do it. But now that you've seen what's possible, now that you know that there are tools out there that can do 10x the work in 1/10 the time and give even better results, now you know that there's ways to get around all the issues that otherwise would stop you or hold you back or be challenging. This time right now is like discovering electricity and then choosing to keep using candles, or finding out about cars but insisting on riding your horse to work. Because here's the uncomfortable truth: the moment you become aware of a better way is the moment you lose the right to accept the old way. You might not have known better before, but now you do. So my question to you is this: are you really going to keep doing things the hard way just because it's familiar, just because it's comfortable, just because, well, that's the way we've always done it? Nah, that ain't going to cut it anymore. Now, when there are tools that can literally print money for you while you sleep, now when you can produce more with less effort and get better results, the ignorance excuse expired the moment you showed up here, because now you know. So why do we care so much about your success? Why do Iman and I invest so much time to help you with your success? Well, let me tell you why. And it's pretty simple, really. Iman is now co-owner of WAP, which means the more you succeed on the platform, the more he succeeds. And here's the thing: he can't do it alone, and it wouldn't make sense for him to try. I want you to think about it. A general doesn't fight the opposing army by himself. That would be insane. Instead, he brings in the troops, equips them with the best weapons, trains them how to use those weapons, and that's how you win a war, and that's how you conquer a world. But unlike actual war where, people die and stuff and it gets messy, you're fighting a war right now where you have the nuclear weapons and the most cutting-edge technology on the planet, and your competition out there for digital products is running around with pointy little sticks, and they don't even know how to use them. So we need your success, and you want your success. And that's why we've condensed millions of dollars worth of training and tech into something that costs less than $1,500. And we even offer financing for those of you whose money is tight, because we're not trying to build an exclusive little club here. We're trying to build an army of people armed with technology so advanced that it feels like cheating. So yeah, we're motivated about your success, because your success is our success. And together we could take over the whole damn game. So if you're ready to take over the game, put game in the chat right now. Let me know if you're ready to take over the game. We got 9,097 people here. Who here amongst you is ready to take over the game? Listen, we're basically combining the three most powerful wealth building strategies here today, from the three richest dudes to ever do it. And we're applying it to the hottest trend in the game right now. Let's break down these three strategies. First, we got Warren Buffett's perfect business model, which is low barrier to entry plus high profit margins. That's digital products for you. I want you to think about it. Most businesses force you to choose. Either it's easy to start, but the margins suck, or the profits are fat, but you need deep pockets to begin. Digital products, you get super high margin, and now because of the tech, very easy to develop. You can start with basically zero overhead. You keep 80 to 90% of your sell, if not more. So try finding those margins with other models. You will not work. But it gets better, because we're not just using Buffett's perfect business model. We're combining it with Jeff Bezos' marketplace effect. See, Jeff didn't become the richest man in the world just by selling books. He did it by building the platform that others sell through. And that's exactly what WAP is doing for digital products. They're becoming the Amazon of digital products, which means you get to ride that wave. Just like those early Amazon sellers and myself, we rode that wave and got rich simply by being first on platform. And then the final sweet piece of the puzzle, we're also adding Elon Musk's favorite ingredient, which is disruptive technology. In the case, we're using AI in a very specific way. And we're going to do it the same way that Tesla disrupted the auto industry. See, AI is completely disrupting how digital products get created in the right way, because our tech is like Tesla, not this lame other stuff that people try with electric cars and failed. So effective disruptive technology. We have the best way to take things that you can produce in days that used to require months with better quality at a fraction of the cost, while your competition is still doing everything else manually, like someone trying to hand build a Fiat in their garage. So let's run it back and put it together. You're getting the Buffett perfect business model, which is a low entry and high profit margins, plus Bezos marketplace advantage, being a first mover with premium placement on WAP, and Musk's disruptive tech edge through our AI-powered digital product creation. And you're getting it all at the same time, all pointed to the hottest trend in the market, all at the best time possible. You literally couldn't design a better opportunity if you tried. It's like someone took the success DNA from these 3 billionaires, mixed it into a lab, and handed you the formula. Now, does this guarantee you're going to become the next Bezos? Of course not, right? But does it mean that you're positioning yourself at the intersection of 3 of the most powerful wealth-building forces that have ever been discovered? Of course it does, right? And you're doing it right as this whole digital products 2.0 revolution is taking off. Talk about being in the right place at the right time with the right tools. The only question is this, my friend. Are you going to be one of the people who recognizes this moment, who sees these forces that are converging right now and takes action upon this? Or are you going to be like those people who could have bought Bitcoin before COVID, but thought, hey, we'll wait and see how things play out? Because right now you're standing at a similar crossroads and you got 2 options. You can ride these forces to the top, or you can watch others do it without you. That's your choice, but don't say I didn't warn you, because it's there if you want it. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second, and I want you to imagine something. What would actually change if money wasn't a thing anymore? I'm not talking about FU money. I'm talking about F everything money. The kind where you never check your account again, because you know there's always going to be enough. What would your mornings look like? Would that alarm still go off? Or would you let your body wake up naturally when it's actually ready to start the day? And where would you be at? Would you still be exactly where you are right now? Or would you be like posted up at some exotic locale, working from a villa that costs less than your current rent, but is about 10 times cooler? And what would your relationships look like? Would you still hang with the same people, or would you finally cut off those energy vampires who only stick around because they need something from you? What would your work look like? Or what would your education look like? Would you still be grinding on projects you hate, or attending school in places that you don't want to be at, in working and dealing and managing with people who don't appreciate you? Or would you only work on the things that excite you? Would you only study the things that inspire you? And would you only hang out with the people that you actually enjoy, who bring the best out of you? Would you keep playing small, keeping your ideas to yourself, or would you finally step up and create the impact you've been putting off? Here's why I'm asking. Because that picture in your head right now, that's not some impossible fantasy. That's not some one-day dream. That's literally what's available right now if you play this digital product game right. And I know, because I've watched it happen time and time again. People just like you who got tired of waiting for one day someday and decided to change their what if into what's next. Now they're living where they want, working when they want, creating what they want, impacting whom they want. And the craziest part, they're not special. They're not geniuses. They just saw an opportunity and actually took it. While others sat around debating if it was too realistic, adding up all the reasons why it wouldn't work, planning to start sometime soon, they just went at it. Look, I can't tell you exactly what financial independence means for you. Maybe it's a house on the beach, like you see in that Instagram feed, or maybe it's the ability to travel whenever you want, wherever you want, never having to check the prices at the restaurants, finally being able to help your parents retire, having the freedom to only pursue the things that you love. I can't tell you that, but what I can tell you is this: that dream is more achievable right now than at any point in human history, because you literally have the perfect model, the perfect marketplace, the perfect technology, and the perfect timing, all coming together at the exact same time. So the only question is this: are you going to keep dreaming about it, or are you ready to do something about it? Because that future you just imagine is not going to show up on accident. You got to choose it. You got to claim it. You got to build it starting right now. And let me ask you something. Who taught you about money? No, I'm serious. Think about it for a second. Was it your parents? Was it your teachers? And here's an even better question. How much money do those people actually have? Let me tell you a little story. My dad, hardest working guy I know, blue collar, old school mentality, worked his ass off for 30 years, started making $19,000 an hour, never got past, $19,000 a year. That's kind of what I make an hour now, right? But 19,000 a year when he started, he never did better than 50,000 in a single year. And that was working 2 jobs to make that work. I didn't see him that much because he was too busy working all the time. And I love him to death. But you know what he couldn't teach me? How to get wealthy. Not because he didn't want to, because you can't teach what you don't know. It's like trying to learn Spanish from someone who only speaks Russian. It ain't going to work. And this is where most people screw the pooch. They take money advice from broke people. They take financial tips from folks living paycheck to paycheck. It's like taking driving lessons from someone who's never passed a driver's test. It makes no sense. But we do it anyway because it's comfortable, because it's available, and because it's what we know. Here's the reality, though. If you want to make $1 million, you need to learn from millionaires. If you want to build an 8-figure business, you need to study 8- and 9-figure entrepreneurs. If you want to create digital products that actually crush, you need to learn from people who are crushing it with digital products, not from a decade ago or even last year, from people like Iman and me who are doing it in the now. And it's not complicated, but it is uncomfortable, because learning from real winners, because learning from real winners means admitting what you're doing right now isn't working, and that actually investing in proper guidance and following a proven process, even when it feels weird, because spoiler alert, it always feels weird at first, is the way. I want you to look at it this way. If you wanted to climb Mount Everest, would you rather learn from someone who's read about it in a book, or someone who's tried it once and failed, or someone who's done it over and over again and has helped others get to the top? And the answer is obvious, isn't it? So why do we ignore this logic when it comes to money? Why do we let people who are broke influence how we think about getting rich? Why is that uncle telling us about how to make it big? Or why do we listen to that friend who's grinding it out on their side hustle that isn't going anywhere? Or that guru who talks big but doesn't have the receipts to back it up? Meanwhile, the actual winners, the ones who are really doing it, are right here ready to show you the way. We've already built the systems, mapped the shortcuts, identified the pitfalls, created the frameworks, and all you got to do is follow the damn process. But here's the thing about processes. They only work if you actually follow them, not if you try to figure it out yourself, skip the steps that you think aren't important, and mix it in with advice from broke people, or quit when it gets uncomfortable. You need to pick your mentor. You need to trust their process, and you need to follow it all the way through. No half-stepping, no mixing methods, no, yeah, but bullshit. Because if you want different results, you need different teachers, period. Now, let me break down the real reason why most people stay stuck while a small group of us winners keep stacking wins. Because it comes down to 5 things, and I guarantee you're missing at least 2 of them. The first one is your why. Not that weak, yeah, money would be nice kind of stuff. I'm talking about that I'll figure it out or I'll die trying drive. You now know how you can tell. You know how you can tell if you really want something? By how you react when you hit a roadblock. Average people hit an obstacle and they quit. Winners hit an obstacle and they think, good. This is where other people give up. Look at any successful athlete. You don't find a kind of want-to-win attitude. You find commitment. They practice while others party. They train while others sleep. And that's why they win while others watch. Now, here's the thing. You think the same old roadblocks you hit in the past still exist, but they don't. With our tech, we've stacked for you all the favors and put all the effort in. So those are now imaginary roadblocks. They are no more. Yet you're staying off the road to success without realizing the path is now paved and the gold that you can walk on glides you down it. But it gets deeper, because next up we have the second success trait: specialized knowledge. I want you to look at somebody like a Bill Gates. Dude didn't try to master everything. He went at one thing, software, and rode it all the way to become the richest man alive at one point. And that wasn't an accident. He understood something most people don't. Be kind of good at 10 things equals broke. Picking one thing and focusing on it, like digital products, equals rich. Now, in today's environment, it doesn't have to be your own specialized knowledge. It just has to be specialized knowledge that you can source through AI and put in the right structure, which means then you have to have trait number 3, which is focus. And this is usually where dreams go to die, because the second you decide to level up, watch how fast the haters come out. They say, oh, you went to one of those online events? Another one of those get rich quick schemes? Who do you think you are to change your financial situation in life? Oh, all of that stuff is a scam. And anyone who is rich, they wouldn't sell a course to you. And this is where focus becomes your superpower, because you got to be willing to stick to your path, even when everyone around you is trying to drag you back down, even when your own family does it sometimes, because, hey, misery loves company, doesn't it? You have to focus yourself for the 90-day sprint with us. We give you everything else, but you have to keep your focus on it. Are you up for that? If you are, then it's time for success trait number 4, which is called being decisive. And let me ask you a question. What color are your eyes? And if I ask you again in 2 weeks, still the same color. So why the heck do you need to sleep on it when an opportunity comes your way? Some answers don't change with time. They just get more expensive while you think about it. You know who taught you to keep thinking about it over and over again? Probably the same broke people who taught you about money. Delay is a characteristic of the poor. Winners, they move fast, they gather information, they analyze quickly, they make a decision, and then they stick to it. Then there's the 5th success trait, which is community. Every successful person I know has a strong community around them because they understand something crucial. It's about who and how, not just about how. You could spend hundreds of years on your own trying to figure everything out yourself, or you can plug into the collective genius of the same group of people who are following the same plan and skip years of expensive trial and error. So let me ask you something. Out of these 5 elements, your burning why, your specialized knowledge, your focus, being decisive, and community, how many do you actually have locked down? Be honest. Because if you're missing even just one, you're basically trying to drive a car with a missing wheel. Sure, you might move forward, but it ain't going to be pretty. And you definitely ain't going to win any races. Now, the good news is you can fix all 5 of these today, right now, because here's the truth. Monetize offers all of these things. And I have 2 brand new bonuses I'm personally offering to you if you sign up before my session today. And one of these bonuses I'm offering has never been seen before by anyone except my multi-million-dollar clients that I work with. Now, Monetize is the world's first complete system for building profitable digital products without needing any expertise, without the technical skills, or without any previous experience. And it has everything. It has the education, it has the software, the distribution, the support, the community, all wrapped up into one program that's literally designed to make success for you almost inevitable. The first component is our digital product formula, and Iman breaks down the 4-step plan to create and scale a digital product from zero to hero. It's built on the exact steps he's used to generate over $100 million with digital products, presented in a proven 4-step system that anyone can follow. It has the 4 steps: how to develop your product, how to distribute it to the right people, how to deliver it, and how to scale it once you have proof that it works. These 4 pillars work together as a complete system, and you get access to all of them inside the digital product formula, along with weekly coaching calls where we help you implement everything. Plus, we're giving you these absolutely insane bonuses for free when you sign up before this offer expires, including bonus number 1, Synthesize AI. It develops your entire digital product for you, the core content in it, all the necessary tools around it, even the scripts for your product videos. This AI is trained on all the data of over $1 billion in digital product sales from WAP. And more importantly, Synthesize AI is specifically designed to help you create products that don't require you to be an expert. We use Synthesize to create a product that did $370,000 in the last 30 days, and 13,000 people bought it from Synthesize. You're getting unlimited access for a year for free as part of your Monetize membership. That's bonus number 1. Bonus number 2, Monetize Mania. This is a 90-day competition that we're running where we're ranking the top-selling digital products created inside of Monetizes, and we're giving prize to the top winners. The winner specifically gets a $200,000 McLaren. Yeah, you read that right. Yeah, you heard that right. An actual McLaren. The next 5 top performers, they're all getting Rolexes. The next 10, they're getting premium luggage. And that luggage is important because all top 30 performers will get to fly out to New York for an exclusive 1-day mastermind at the WAP offices with Iman and the entire WAP team. Being in masterminds has changed my life. That's where I found my business partner, was at a mastermind. That's bonus number 2. Bonus number 3 is access to the monetized community, because success doesn't happen in isolations. You join a network of other like-minded individuals, and it becomes multiplication, not addition. And this is where momentum lives. That's bonus number 3. Bonus number 4 is Ghostwriter OS. Now, what if there was a way to have a digital army of content working for you 24/7, created with just a few simple button pushes and spread all over the internet like wildfire? That's Ghostwriter OS. Inside Ghostwriter, you're going to have access to dozens of AI agents that are basically done for you AI employees that get all the work delivered to you with a click of a button. There are over 33 unique agents you can choose from. That's 33 done for you AI employees, so that all you have to do is select what you want done and click a single button to get it done for you. And they will get your entire distribution set up for you within just a few clicks of a button in minutes, not hours or days. And if you were to pay for a team to do this for you, it would cost you over 6 figures. That's bonus number 4. Bonus number 5, premium WAP market placement. We're going to have a whole section on the WAP marketplaces only for digital products from monetized members. They're going to get preferred treatment of placement. So just by being inside Monetize, you already have a competitive advantage over everyone else. Now, let me put this in perspective for you. WAP's marketplace is currently doing $2 to $3 million in sales every single month, just the marketplace itself. And we're giving you prime placement in this marketplace. The total value here is well over $10,000, which is why it's such an incredible deal for just $14.95. Plus, we now have 2 extra secret bonuses that I'm going to personally throw in for free, because I'm so excited to help you sign up before this live session ends here today. So if you sign up before we end this live session today, which is the last live session we're doing, then you're going to get these 2 bonuses. So as long as you sign up before the end of the session, you get 2 extra new bonuses for free. I'll reveal those to you here in a second. First question to you: are you ready to get started? Here's what you're going to do then. You're going to click the link that I'm going to drop in the live chat here. And I'm going to drop this link in 3, 2, 1, now. Boom. Link is dropped in the chat. If for some reason you can't find it, you don't know where it's at, or you're listening and not looking at the chat, you can also go direct to the page to get started, which is joiniman.com. You just type that URL in. However you get there and sign up. And if you sign up before we hit end stream on this live YouTube today, then I'm going to give you 2 extra special bonuses that come from me specifically. Here's the first bonus, called Prosperity Algorithm. So one day I was reflecting and realized I had cracked the webinar algorithm. I'm the world's best at a thing called webinars. And companies like Zoom, who are worth billions of dollars, bring me in to train people on how to do webinars. So I figured that algorithm of how to become the best in the world at that. Before that, I had cracked the Amazon algorithm, knowing how to put products on the top of page 1 in position 1, 2, or 3 for Amazon. And that did pretty good for me. Before that, I had cracked the affiliate algorithm, selling other people's digital products for them and setting records in the space. And then I realized everything has an algorithm. It's not just Google. It's not just Facebook. It's not just WAP. Prosperity has an algorithm. And prosperity, to me, extends beyond just money. Prosperity is having wealth in all areas of your life. And so I sat down and I said to myself, what would that algorithm look like? And then I analyzed the 63 inputs that I isolated that determine prosperity. And then I said, of these 63, what are the most critical? And then I focused on the 10 most critical factors that determine prosperity. And I broke down and created a whole training program on it. And so, for example, I'll give you a little taste there. There's the value of purpose. So I teach you about purpose, how to find it, how to step into it, how to unlock it and use it to power you to your goals. I break down this little known thing called a schema. The schema is the hidden code, which is how you operate in the world. So anywhere you have a limitation, you have a schema that needs to be updated. And you update that schema and you will change your life. So we get into that. Framing. Framing is the context in which you view your life, and that determines the quality of your life. See, people focus too much on content, where context is where it's at. So I'll teach you all the framing secrets to up-level your life in varieties of areas of your life. Compulsions. Effort, my friend, is overrated. I prefer automaticity. So we build compulsions onto high-value behaviors in your life so success becomes a byproduct. Leverage. The most powerful force in the world for growth is leverage. I'll show you how to find it, use it. I'll show you how to leverage. Intuition, because thinking is overrating, feeling is better. When you can feel out what to do, it's easier than thinking, and it gets a better result. This is just a taste of all of the secrets related to prosperity that are in this training program that I put out, and specifically have created, and we sell for a pretty penny. I think we sell it for $297 or $397 these days. And this has everything I know that has allowed me to become as successful as I could be in finances, as well as have prosperity in my life. This is a free bonus for you when you sign up. Give us a couple weeks to put it together, because I decided it this morning before I came into the studio here. So we'll get this delivered to you, but kindly give us about 2 weeks to deliver this to you. We'll get it to you there. So that's the first bonus, and it's only available if you sign up before this stream ends here today. Now, here's the second bonus. This one is even crazier. I put this one in a few minutes before we went live, and it's called offer modalities. That's not even the name for it yet. I don't even have a name for it yet. So 2 years ago, I went back through every single win I ever had in the product business, and I documented every single successful product that I have been able to sell. And then I went through every single product and isolated every part of that product. And then I made notes of the specific things that I did for that product that made it successful. And then I put it into a document right here. And this is an internal document that I reference myself when I create my digital products. It's also what I use when my 5-figure consulting clients work with me. Up until now, they're the only ones who have ever really laid eyes on most, not even all, of this. So here's what I'm going to do. This does not exist in a digital product format yet. I am going to create this digital product live in front of your eyes. So I will do a live session where I will train you on this, so you can attend live if you wish to. We will record it, and then we will give you the recordings. So you will get this as a bonus as well, because I've done pretty good in the digital product space. And I'm not the guru that you know. I'm your guru's favorite guru. I'm the man behind the man behind the man. And so the secrets that have breadcrumbs into them, they lead back to me. So get it from the source. These exclusive bonuses are only available when you go to the link that's pinned to the chat right now. Or if you prefer to go to joiniman.com, type it in, and get started. These are only available till the end of the session today, so I will hang with you to help you determine if it makes sense for you to sign up or not. I will answer the questions here very shortly. First, though, I want to make you aware of this guarantee. We have 2 guarantees. The first one is for any reason or none at all. If you want your money back within 7 days, you got it. Try us out and put us to the test and see if this thing plays, right? The second guarantee is really powerful, and this is the one that should get you excited. This is where, until you make $15,000 with your products inside of Monetize, you're going to get all the updates for free. You're going to get all the extra coaching that's provided, all the new programs, all the support is going to be unlocked for you as it rolls out without you ever having to pay for any of it until you hit the $15,000 mark. This is like iPhone giving you the new version of iPhone for free each and every year until you make $15,000, right? I guess that metaphor doesn't work exactly, but hopefully you get the point. And the point is, we are committed to your success, and we will do everything we can in terms of free updates and free support in perpetuity until you get there. So after 90 days are done, and that 90-day sprint, if you still need more, we ain't going to say, hey, listen, you got to sign up again. We're going to hang in with you till you got $15,000. So that's the work until you win guarantee. There is financing available to you if funds are tight. When you go to joiniman.com, plug it in there, see if you qualify for financing. That'll make it get started. We have the workbook today. It's called Belief. That's the password, all caps. So make sure you jam on that. So get the workbook. The total value what we offer is over $10,000, which is why it's such an unbelievable deal for $14.95. So go to the link in the chat or go to joiniman.com. Speaking about joining Iman, Iman just happened to show up here.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Man, what a presentation. You killed it.
Thank you.